Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesdays with Tim Camp. We head into Week 3 action, but before that, the Eastern Oregon Mountaineers earned a big 24-21 victory over rival number 20 Southern Oregon down in Ashland. And we are joined, as always, with head coach Tim Camp. And Coach, that was a really big win to get you guys a win coming back here for the first home game, and it was a big difference between Week 1 and Week 2. EOU played 3 phases in the win, amassing over 400 yards of offense while holding SOU under 300. So how did the game plan come together for you guys on the field on Saturday?
Well, good question. I think, well, thanks for having me, number one. Number two is you always will notice a big difference in, whether if you're playing middle school football, high school football, or college football between Week 1 and Week 2. And that was the challenge coming back from that College of Idaho game, is to really let the kids know we're looking for progress. And I want to see progress during practice during the week. Weeks 1 to 2, you'll see a great amount of progress. And I think that's what you were able to see down at this Oregon game. That's a very good Southern Oregon football team. They're a top 20 team. But at the same time, it's all about the way you travel. The teams in this conference, if you learn how to travel and you prepare the correct way, I think you at least put yourself in a position to be competitive. I got a chance to stop down at Oregon State on the way there. The kids loved it, and thank all the Beavers for allowing us to be able to come and practice there. We had a great practice at Oregon State, and then we traveled on into Ashland, had great meetings in the hotel, and again, it was just one of those things that the kids are getting a chance to be together. They're getting a chance to know each other, and putting them in different positions where you're building chemistry. And I think that one of the things that hopefully everybody saw out there was, at every point in time, the offense was pulling for the defense was pulling for the offense, the special forces were all involved in that, and to be able to win in 3 phases, I think was a huge deal. But the 4th phase was even bigger. The people on the sidelines, our guys that we got 55 guys on the sideline, and they're all pulling for each other. I think that was the thing that impressed me the most about this team. They have something special that they got to continue to work on. But being able to be a family, being able to be in Ashland, and being able to play a physical game against a top 20 opponent, and being able to come out of Ashland with a win, that's a big time deal for Eastern Oregon and our football program.
Right, and after the wins, EOU was honored both by the Frontier Conference and on the national scale by the NAIA with 2 Player of the Week awards. You had Sage DeLong and then Chase Van Wyk as the Defensive Player of the Week and the Special Teams Player of the Week, both Frontier Conference and NAIA, as I mentioned. So what does it do for, not only the team, but those guys as individuals to be able to earn those accolades and get those after a big win? What does it mean to them?
Well, those 2 guys right there, I would follow any place. They do things the right way. They're guys that believe in the system. Their hard work's going to pay off. The progress that they've shown between Week 1 and Week 2. You got one as a captain, one potentially can be a captain. I mean, they lead their position groups. They lead their units. So again, it's not a surprise to me. They're better people than they are football players, and it's the way they carry themselves. It's the way they walk, the way they talk. How they go about their business is the reason why they're getting recognized. If you watch them play football, you can totally tell that they're having fun. They're having a blast out there, and I think that's one of the things. I mean, just going out there, and they have no stress. They've put into work, so they're ready to go. And it's one of those things. You watch them play, you can see why they get recognized, because they play at a different level. And I'm so proud of both of those 2 young men, just because of the fact of all the hard work they put in over the summer, and then being able to go and pick themselves up again after the College of Idaho game to go play another top 20 team in Southern Oregon, and be able to play and perform the way they did. And they're a big spark for our offense, a spark for our defense, and also for our special forces. To be able to block a punt, and then coming back and block a field goal, and Sage DeLong was all over the quarterback all day, making tackles for losses. But at the end of the day, just watch how they play. They represent Eastern Oregon University and this fine program in a first-class way.
Yeah, well, in the end, it was the offense that had to come up with the big drive to win the ball game after the defense and special teams really held up late. It was a 10-play, 70-yard drive in a minute 50, no timeouts. But prior to that winning drive, what was the energy of the offensive huddle as you're talking to them, and kind of what was your message to them as they're going out for this 2-minute drill?
Well, I think the big thing was, hey, just have faith and belief. Our system works and our style of play works against these guys. We said that we got to be able to run the ball, we got to do the things, but now we just got to go make plays. And that's what was able to happen. They kept believing. The sideline was crazy with the defense up supporting, and that's what ended up happening. We got a couple penalties, and from Southern Oregon that helped us move the ball a little bit. But at the same time, it did come down to making plays. And, we felt all along that we could move the ball and we can score points. I thought we left a few points out there in the first half. But at the end of the day, I just told them, I said, hey, just go out and execute. Let's do what we do and do it how we do it. And I'll tell you the score at the end of the game. Okay, don't even look at the scoreboard. I'll tell you the score at the end of the football game. And they were able to do that. And I had several players come tell me the score. So it was a great environment. Super proud of these guys to be able to continue to stay in for 60 total minutes. And that was a big deal for our football program.
Yeah, well, you're back home finally for the first time in 2019 in front of the home crowd at Community Stadium this Saturday, September 14th at 1 p.m. and we're hosting another good team. We mention this every week, but Frontier Conference, how tough it is. And you've got Montana Tech coming into LeGrand. What does the win do for the momentum, coming into this game against Montana Tech? And what would you say are the keys to defeating the Ore Diggers on Saturday?
Well, the one thing that we talk about, the last week is over. We're already on to Montana Tech, and we're working on them. It's the Montana invasion to LeGrand, and we're setting it up to be something very, very big. We're going to have a great crowd. The support has been unreal on the road for us, and everything's been working the way that we want it to. The biggest thing is the work at the beginning of the week through the middle of the week all the way to Saturday. It's got to be consistent. We got to continue to progress. And Montana Tech, they're a very good football team too. You just said it, and I think the biggest thing in the Frontier Conference, you can't think about what you just did in the past. You gotta really focus on who you have in front of you, because if you're able to do that, you'll put a quality product on the field, and that's our goal. We have to do the things better this week than we did against Southern Oregon, because it comes down to the blocking, the tackling, the doing. It's the same thing that you guys get tired of me saying all the time, but when you miss tackles, that's given them an opportunity. When you miss blocks, that's given your opponent an opportunity. So those are the things that we've already been focused on today, to make sure, again, we're doing the right thing as coaches to put our guys in the correct position to make plays. And then at the end of the day, those players, they're going out there and playing, and they have to make plays, and but at the same time, it's the ability to do it consistently, and for people pushing for jobs, people on special forces to kind of get a look, to be able to see what they do. It's always a wild one when Montana Tech comes in, and I don't see it any different. And again, the keys to victory for Eastern Oregon University is to be able to manage the football, take care of the football. If we're able to do that, then we're going to be on track, to stay ahead of the change. Defensively, we need to be able to tackle. We need to be able to get those guys corralled and to be able to make sure that everybody on the football field is forcing the ball or either supporting it. One of the two. You don't have a choice. And so those things are all fundamental things. But at the same time, to be back in front of a home crowd, to be able to come back to LeGrand on our turf and to be able to show everybody what type of facilities we have and the support we have from the community and the administration, all that, I think is going to be just what these guys needed. So we're very, very excited to get back.
Well, Coach, we're super excited to have you this week back at home. And once again, as a reminder, Eastern Oregon taking on Montana Tech this Saturday at 1 p.m. at Community Stadium. And if you're not doing anything else in LeGrand on Saturday, you should be at this football game. This is a big one.
Let's go. We're going to need the support, and again, I appreciate all the support that we're getting from everybody. So it should be a barn burner out here. So mount up.